if nothing else, it was an entertaining game of football. Entertainment is what we required. Entertainment is what we were after. It's who we are, mate, and all of that, and all of that, and all of that. But look, fundamentally, it's a results business. If nothing else, you've got to at least try and combine the entertainment with results. An atrocious week of football for Spurs has come to an end. And honestly, on the back of a 4-0 win against Man City, what we followed it up with, 2-2 to Roma, 1-1 at Fulham, 1-0 at Bournemouth, and today 4-3 at home to Chelsea. Based on the results, we know what would normally happen to a manager. And I've said many a times, look, there's going to be a lot of people, streams online, YouTube tonight, TalkSport, wherever you go. And anyway, the pressure will be mounted on the board to make a decision on this manager. And like I said, on the results, if based purely on results-based business, we know what would happen. But I look at it. It's incredible. It's incredible. We'll start. Let me talk about the game a little bit. It is a match reaction after all. Started off strongly, went 2-0 up. Massively helped by Cucurella's boots. How we ended up scoring both goals, but we did. We're going to take a 2-0 up. We're in a situation where we are in the driving seat. And when you're in a driving seat, and you have a car that's clearly gone strong, you need to then be able to manage that car, manage it. You can't have a situation where we have two boxes even in the ring. For those who like boxing analogies and just trading punches, knockout punches, and not use the jab, it's unheard of. To not be able to use a jab in a boxing match. You can't just be trading punches with your opponent, just straight knockout punches, see who goes down first. We kept doing that. Even at 2-0 up, we kept doing the same things over and over again. And we played a high line, incredibly, with two centre-backs who have just come back from injury, have been put straight in the first team. Again, an incredible decision to do that, to have two centre-backs coming back from both of them from injury and putting back together at the exact same time when you've got a fit one on the bench. Don't get me wrong, Justin has been hit miss. He has bad, good performances, some bad performances. But if he's the only fit defender, centre-half that you have, you start with him and you start with one of those centre-backs, either Van der Ven or Romero. And at worst, you change them at half-time to give them, so you're not wearing them both out and risk having injury situation. And what do we do to protect these guys as well from these injuries? You know, we play with a high line, leaving them sometimes all on their own. I know Romero went off first beforehand, but my God, we were really pushing Van der Ven on a one-on-one situation, going pressing up high into their half. It's incredible. But what's followed, and what I was trying to say in the back of the results against Man City, what's followed is just we changed our way slightly in Man City, and clearly now we look at it and there's a single and isolated episode that game. Because we've reverted back to doing all the things that we've done all season in the way that we played, the inverted wingers and the high line and so forth and so forth. And it's just like the stubbornness, I have to say, man, the stubbornness of the manager is incredible. It's absolutely stubborn in his ways, and that is not going to change. And unfortunately, if you want to keep your philosophy going in the way that you want to be going, you've got to combine the results with it. Otherwise, there's only going to be one ending. But then we go beyond that. People say to me, we've had a lot of injuries. A lot of teams at this time of year have injuries. All of them have injuries. The difference is we can't deal with the volume. Not only with the injuries, we haven't got the replacements for them. You could talk to me about the bench today. We have Spence and we have Regulon. Those are just names on the bench. They're not an actual option because they'll never play. They're never going to play. So that leaves you what? Just Mathers as the 12th player, really, that can come on and impact at best. But then the first substitute we make is Timo Werner. Johnson gets injured. That's the 12th player that comes on. What we're hoping to do there when we have changes of that, you know. And then in the end, again, then you look at it, You know, our two midfielders today, Sarr and Bissouma. Decision making in the area. We have a player that slides in to make an attempted tackle on Caicedo, who made him buy that challenge because he waited for him to come through and he got him. And we have another one on the their fourth goal from another penalty with Cole going away from our goal outside of the area, and Sarr couldn't just put the pressure on without actually making a decision until at least get him out of the area and then try and get the ball. So decision making, and this is the thing. We're in a situation where we are constantly under the cosh, under pressure into recovering, making last ditch challenges. There's no game management off the field and on it. We went 2-0 up. We didn't play to manage the game. The midfield didn't play to manage the game. Our midfield today, I don't know. Listen, again, it's hard you can criticise the players, but then what are they being instructed to do? Until you know that, how much can you criticise them if they've been told to do one thing and we want them to do something else? But they could be instructed by the manager to be doing that. I don't know. But at the end of the day, at some point, you've got to put a foot on hold of the ball. Try and control, try and take the sting out of the game a little bit. We don't let a team come back into the game 5 minutes or 6 minutes after we scored a second goal. We allow a player to attack from the left-hand side, go right across into the edge of the D and take a shot without being so much of a challenge or a tackle or a foul. This is low level of football, guys. This is not Premier League level. This is low level. You can go non-league, you can go to Sunday League, you see this stuff. And I'm not critiquing them as well, but this is the level that we're talking about. Can't be doing that. And for me, that Bissouma one for me was the one that clearly changes the game, because obviously they go 3-2 up after being 2-0 down. That's big for a team to take, and then we do what we did in the fourth. But after the fourth goal, I have to say, I switched the TV before I was done, so I didn't even see the third goal from Spurs with Son's goal. Son, again, we have a situation where we can go 3-1 up. Son in a one-on-one situation could square it to Werner, but in that situation, in that angle, I fancy Son to score. Bangs one wide, man. That goes 3-1. So we have situations where we could have wrapped that game up with a 3-1. We don't. They go the other end. They make it 2-2. And that's the difference. But what amazes me more than anything else, and I'm sorry, this is a bit of a match reaction. I'm going into the match, going and beyond, going to the... What's crazy, guys, that against Ipswich, we gave a lot of chances away. They won that game. Against Fulham, Fraser Forster was our man of the match. Against Bournemouth, they could have scored 5 or 6. Today, Fraser Forster as well kept it to 4, because that could have been chances. We are given so many chances away per game that we could be out of sight on a lot of them. Even the Roma game, I remember having them chances. We got away with a few on that one there before the equaliser right at the end. We are given umpteen amount of chances, and for as angry as I am tonight, obviously I was more upset against the Bournemouth one, but tonight it's a difficult one to digest. But I'm trying to rationalise my thought as I'm doing this video for you guys, because it's very, very difficult to summarise this week and terrible run of week. We are, someone on the radio was saying we're 7 points clear of top 4, but at this rate, it doesn't matter how far or how close you are. You got to look at your situation and think to yourself. To me, even though we might be 7 points away from 4th, it feels like we're 17 points away from 4th with the standard of football that we're providing, and this constant trading of punches between two boxers who just don't want to jab to try and just sometimes just say breathe a little bit. You know what I mean? Try and get your punch ready at the right time, but in the meantime, jab, wait. It's 2-0 up, wait. wait a moment, control the situation a little bit, and then when you open and strike again with a third. There's none of that in this football. In the way that we want Ange wants to play, there is none of that. There is none of game management situations. Get a foothold of the ball and just control. You can't go back and forth, back and forth. In terms of entertaining, if you're a neutral, it's fantastic. But to watch, as your own team, to see that back, forth, just slow it down a little bit. It's 90 minutes of this, and of course, in the end, we tired. We were completely out of our feet, and it could have been a disaster. It could have been a lot more. It could have been, like I said, for Fraser Foster, a lot more. For me, Angie and Ange out. Like I said many a times, listen, on results basis alone, he could go. He can simply go. I wouldn't be shocked. I know what Levy's like when pressure mounts up on him. He pulls the trigger on the manager to take the heat away from him. But for me, the heat should never be off him either. Was we ready? Did we have a squad ready to go in all competitions? No, I don't think we had the. Numerically, we don't have the numbers to even have the. And we have a young team who, youngsters are going to be up and down in the season. They have to learn. They have to give them time to learn their trade. Do we have the patience? Do we have the ambition? Do we have the atmosphere? Do we have the ambience to give these guys the patience? No, because we want results, man. We are starving for results. As for the fan base, we are starving for results. I'm not talking about winning games per se. I'm talking about results that will equal success to some level. How we are starved of that. So how can we be more patient than what we have been already? It's a tough one to digest, guys. It really is. It really is. And I know the boys tonight, they're going to be doing streaming. It's going to be, it's going to be crazy on that one as well. And it's going to be like that for the next few days. In anything that you watch that's to do with Tottenham Hotspur. It's a tough one, guys. It's a tough one. We lose 4-3 today. Some people may say, well, I'm not shocked. Some people say, but I can imagine the atmosphere would have been toxic at the end of that game at the stadium. So, and it all starts, and here we are again. For me personally, Ange out. It doesn't. Yes, you can sack the manager for his stubbornness, incompetence, and tactically inept, and all of that, and results, and all of that. It's absolutely fine, and it will be justified. If you based it all on those things, right now, probably say okay. But do we actually? I've done a video not long ago. Our problems lie deeper than just Ange. He's contributed massively as well to it. The last, post Man City, absolutely for sure, has made up my mind a little bit on that one. But I know, regardless of whether he's in or out, we won't resolve the issues. For me, it has to be a complete reset from top to bottom, because we are never ever gonna overcome this situation. Will arise again. It happened last year. It's arising again this year. It will happen again next year and the year after that, until it's brought to its head. Until you deal with the big issues. The manager issues right now is an issue for sure. There's no denying that. But until you start dealing with the main issues, we will never ever overcome this obstacle that we have to. But we always arises. Every year, season after season, we are always here at this point, pivotal point of the season, running up to Christmas. Here we are, and in this situation, and when you have this atmosphere around the toxic, all of that, it's a tough one to turn around. It might turn around one match, get a result, and after that we go again. Southampton, all of a sudden the Southampton match looks in. And the Liverpool one's coming up as well. This Forest, it's all coming, and I don't know. Now we don't know the defender situation, how bad they are. We could potentially be having one centre back for Southampton. So, you reap what you sow, as the saying goes. Disappointment night, but tomorrow's another day, guys. Yeah, put your comments in below and all of that, guys. And if you live tonight. The boys will be on. The boys will be on for I'm sure will be a very, very, very heated conversation. Look into that if you'd like to, if you're up late. Yeah, as always, forever always coming in Spurs.